Hey, Mary and Evan. I'm going to teach you guys how to feed Ted. Okay, so this is my Ted. Ted, this is the original. Okay, so what you do is, this is what you need. You need one of these things, a bowl, digital scale, flour. This is the flour that I'm using. This is what I've used since the beginning. It's red mill, all-purpose flour, but it's not organic. You don't want to use organic flour for your starter. You can use it for your bread, but you don't want to use it for your starter because it's got enzymes in it that mess with your starter. So what I did is, this is your package. I'm sending this to you. This is going to be your Ted jar, but when I package Ted for you, I'm putting it in a smaller jar so it doesn't slop all over the place. So this is your Ted jar. This is 3 days worth of flour, and then this is the little hat that you put on because you want it breathable. I'm going to show you all of that. Okay, so this is what you do. We already know that Ted weighs 400 grams because we cut him every day down to 200. So what I do is I just put a bowl on here, easy math. Put a bowl in here, and then I just fill it with Ted until we get to 200 grams. Nope, almost. Boop. Nope, almost. All right, 200 grams. Then we throw this away. Or you can save it and give it to one of your friends and give them a Ted starter. I'm throwing it away. All right, now to this, so this is 200. So then what you want to do is you add 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. Filtered, meaning like out of your Brita or like bottled water or whatever, but warm it up in the microwave. Not hot, just warm. It helps, whatever, the process. Okay, so zero it out. We want to add 100. And you never want to measure it by the cup because it never is accurate. Okay, so we're looking for 100 grams. Boop, 100 grams. And then 100 grams. The math is so easy. Zero out. Boop, boop, boop. There we go, 100. Okay. And then you whisk it until you can't see any dried flour left. This is the consistency. That's totally normal. That's what it should look like, okay? And then I put it into a clean jar. I have 2 jars that I rotate so that I can clean one out because they get really nasty. Because he'll start out around here and then he'll raise up to here tonight within like 3 hours. And by the time he gets up to there and then deflates back down again, when he deflates all the way back down, that means he's hungry again. So by the time he gets back down here, lots of nastiness. It's hard, it's gooey, it's gross. Okay, so let's pour Ted back in here and put him to bed for the night. Ooh. I'll watch that later. Okay. All right, so let's get Ted in here. I wish I knew how to cut video so you guys didn't have to sit through this part. That takes a minute or two, but that's okay. What else can I tell you? Oh, I know. So I'm sending out a few other goodies for you guys. A really good recipe book that I found that explains all the different flours to use and has different recipes for your sourdough starter, as well as a proofing bowl. That's pretty cool. That's what gives it the cool edges. I'll show you that in a hot second. Hang on. Okay. So that's pretty good. I got all of Ted in there. All right. Oh, and starters need a name. This is Ted. Popped into my head one day. No significance. You can name your starter anything you want because this is your starter now. So whatever you want. It can be Ted. It can be Ted Jr. It can be Fred. It can be whatever you want. But you gotta name him. Okay. So then what I do, so this is what the lid looks like, right? It's a glass lid, but it needs to breathe. So you don't put this lid on it. You put this cheeseclothy stuff on it. And I'm sending extra for that for you guys as well. And I just put it on like this. Oh wait, sorry, hang on. First put this down and you wanna, did you see that? You put it on so that you can see how much Ted has grown. So that's about where, right there, that's where Ted is right now. Okay, and then we put this on so that Ted can, so that Ted can breathe, but he's still covered. Okay, and then I put Ted in my box. This is a heating blanket or a heating pad. I'm sure you guys have a million of these around the house because boys need heating pads when they play sports. I put him in there. He fits perfectly with my other Ted. And I just turn it on. It stays on for an hour. And I'll show you what it looks like in an hour. He's going to be probably puffed up this much. And then I turn it on again. And I put it on high, put it on medium, put it whatever. He will get all the way to the top. I'll send you pictures when he's all the way to the top. But that's pretty much it. Let me see what else. Oh, the proofing bowl. This is my proofing bowl. The pink is cranberries because I made cranberry walnut bread. It was really good. Here's what I learned from the proofing bowl. I'm sending you guys one of these too because it makes the cool ridges for sourdough. Use a lot of flour. I didn't use enough and it stuck and that sucked. So use a lot of flour. I mean, don't like cake it in there. You figure it out, it's your bowl. Also sending you this. Yeah, pretty cool. I love this book. Tells you all about the different flours and stuff. Okay, that's about all I got. What else I can tell you is that when you want to make your sourdough, you can leave it out on the counter, you can leave it in the oven with the light on, you can leave it in the little heating pad, whatever. But when you don't want to make bread for like a week or two, you can throw it in the fridge, and that's when you put the glass top on. That's when you put the glass top on, when you stick it in the fridge. And then when you want to make bread after, you need to liven him up again. You don't need to feed him when he's in the fridge. You need to feed him like once a week, apparently, when he's in the fridge. But not every day, like you do when he's on the counter. So, I think that's it. No. So when you bring him out of the fridge, if you want to make bread, then that's when you need to feed him again. And you got to do it for like 48 hours to make sure he's nice. You want it to be bubbly. And they show you photos in that book, like spilling over bubbly. This is a big enough jar that if you're making 400 grams in there, it's not going to spill over the top. It gets close and it gets, like it'll reach all the way to the very top, but it will not spill over. I haven't had a spill over yet. Okay, so that's Ted in a nutshell. Oh, look at this gray hair. That's Ted in a nutshell. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Good baking.